You are now listening to the sounds of Dr. B's Spot, a production of Bowden Enterprise Services, LLC. Join the podcast where love and life topics are discussed surrounding spiritual connection, relationships, finance, and becoming a better you through elevation. And now, here's your host, spiritual advisor and behavioral health clinician, Dr. B.
Welcome back to another session of Dr. B's Spot, Love and Life. I'm your host, your spiritualist, your therapist, Dr. B. We are back in business and back in action. Thank you for joining me on today. In this moment, at this appointed time, on this special topic, as always, our topics are always special. But this particular moment, we're going to talk about the importance of letting people learn from their own mistakes. The topic of the moment is called Let Them Set Their Own Trap and Watch Them Hang Themselves. Now, you're going to think that I'm going to go in on a negative point. I'm not. But I'm just going to show you stages on how you deal with someone in that position and how it should be handled. So let's move forward. We've all been in this predicament where we want to save those close to us regardless of the circumstance that they may be in. Many times, due to my personality, which is a savior personality, I like to help. I like to be involved. Many times, and everyone's not welcoming at that point in time, when I may step in, and that happens to a lot of folks. So in the past, I have personally leaped and bent over backwards for people who did not appreciate the gesture or had enough sense to know that I have a gift of sight. I may see the vision and the outcome before the downfall. But regardless of the fact that I'm gifted, sometimes we can be emotionally involved and overly empathetic to someone who may need to step back and evaluate. And that'll be you. You stepping back, taking a moment and evaluating the situation and say, do I need to put myself in this position, or do I need to let this person figure it out on their own? There are some who need their own personal life lessons to learn from, and it's not about us to interfere in it. That's how we are met with the resistance of their pull. Their spirit may be agitated because they want the freedom of flight. Now, I'm not saying if they're going to fall or land, because they can even land smoothly or have a hard fall. I can't say which is what, but this will be their lesson they have to go through. But whichever the case, they must also follow the passion of their hearts and their minds. So whatever their heart desire, they have to go with it. Whatever their mind says, they have to go with it. We can't always step in to block someone as they're on this particular type of journey. In those times, we cannot interfere. Now, the trapping aspect, we all know this feeling. We see someone making a mistake and we want to intervene. We want to warn them about the consequences of their actions. We want to save them from themselves. But sometimes the best thing we can do is let them set their own trap. Now, you may ask me why. Well, there's a few reasons why that this may be the case. First, sometimes people need to learn the hard way. They need to experience the consequences of their actions in order to truly understand them. Second, if we intervene too often, we can actually do more harm than good. We can create a sense of dependency where the person feels like they can't make their own decisions. We can also rob them of the opportunity to learn and grow from their mistakes. Now, here we are with the watch portion of the aspect. This means letting someone set their own trap. It doesn't mean that we have to stand by and do nothing. We can still offer support and guidance. We can still be there for them when they need us. Keyword, when they need us. Because they have to come to that own conclusion. You can't tell them when they need you. They have to have that within their self. But we do need to do it from a distance. We need to let them make their own decisions, and we need to be, or let them have that experience and experience those consequences of their own decisions. Now, here's the next part, the hanging portion. Of course, it's not always easy to watch someone make a mistake. It can be painful to see them suffer, but it's important to remember that this is the part of the learning process. If we want people to grow and change, we need to let them experience the full range of human emotions. We need to let them experience pain, disappointment, and even failure, just as well as we need to let them experience happiness. The outcome of this process is not always clear. Sometimes people will learn from their mistakes and make better choices in the future. Other times, they may continue to make the same mistakes over and over again, but that's okay. It's not our job to control the outcome. Our job is to offer support and guidance and to let them learn from their own mistakes. Mistakes are meant to be made so we can learn from them. We all are not perfect beings, but we can strive for perfection even though we'll never achieve it. Being understanding of diversion, of opposition will help you handle the outcome of things that can't be changed at your will, but at its appointed time. So let's go back to repeat that. So you have to understand the diversion of opposition, which is between you and that particular person that you're dealing with, or people that you're trying to interfere. There's an opposition because there's two people on each side that is not on common ground, right? So you have to let that person come to their own senses of what they choose to do for their self, whether you agree or whether you do not. And then the outcome on how you handle things, you already know you can't change it because it's not your will. They have their own will, whatever that is. And in their will, their moment of what they're trying to reach in their mind or in their heart, they have to go for it. As you stand and you let it happen in your position of where you're supposed to be. But you changing someone because your interference into that situation will not make any more difference. It'll make a worse of an issue. So sometimes just step back. Just need to take a step back. But in this appointed time, that person may change down the line, or they may not. But you have to be okay with allowing that person figure it out. Well, listeners, thank you for tuning into today's session. I hope, as always, I've said something to uplift and inspire you on this day. Remember to be blessed with less stress. Until the next time, signing out, love, Dr. B.
Join us next time at Dr. B's Spot, where we dive into the real deal of love and life by tapping into your body, mind, and spirit. Don't forget to like, rate, and comment on each podcast that we drop. For all upcoming shows, reach Dr. B and all she has to offer on BowdenEnterprise.com and social media outlets under the moniker Bowden Enterprise Services. Peace and blessings to you and yours. We are out.